Hello and welcome to New Game Plus for another week. My name is Donald and I'm your host for the day, whilst Jason and the rest of the crew are in Japan at the moment experiencing the wonderful new games at the Tokyo Game Show. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun here. We have Gears 5 to review. We also talk about some of the hot new games to come out in the final quarter of 2019. So we have that to look forward to this episode. But first, this.
Now, I don't know if you've been to Japan before, but this is the infamous scramble crossing that you've seen in like every bit of pop culture everywhere. Shibuya sucks, let's be clear. It's touristy, there's lots of things, but it's good for certain things. Vegan food, one of the very few places. Whale meat, funnily enough, one of the very few restaurants that has whale meat exclusively over here. But otherwise it's very touristy, it's not my kind of joint. But the only reason I'm here is actually because the One Piece store's just down that way. So I'm going to go there, see what I can do. But I figured the best way we can do this is come across with me on the scramble crossing. We can explain what it is about Tokyo that does. I mean, this is 19 million people, not it right now, but 19 million people in this entire city. And everyone would think that being Japan would be like super skyscrapers and all that fucking cyberpunk shit. No. 100% just flat for 40 kilometers. It's four stories high for 40 kilometers. And that's what makes it unique as opposed to a lot of the other ways you would think about it, in that, you know, it just doesn't strike you as a metropolis in that traditional sense. Now, the main reason I bring it up, so we went to Tokyo Game Show this year, quiet year for Tokyo Game Show by at least their standards. Should hopefully be a little bit better next year with the new consoles. But next year we'll be coming back with a tour group. So if you want in, check out travel.newgameplus.tv. Plenty of cool shit to see. And you'll have me as your tour guide. Who wouldn't want that? Like, ask yourself, do you really not want that?
If you've played Journey, this is a very similar sort of vibe.
Love that.
It is, instead of you're playing with one other person, it leverages the fact that it's a free-to-play game, completely free.
Oh.
That happens sometimes. People are activating things, it's fine. It is a free-to-play game that is absolutely the same caliber of game as Journey, which is mental to me. And it looks this good. Oh my
really
god,
pretty.
I cannot. This is being played on my phone. And
It sounds like Journey a little.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, yeah. I immediately got that kind of vibe from it.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, wait, what?
But like,
What?
Oh my god.
if you look up Sky visuals, even if you're playing on the lowest phone that you can play it on, which is this phone, iPhone SE, it is still gorgeous, and I don't understand how.
Oh my god,
That
we're
is
all
really
just
pretty.
staring
Just
at
in awe.
Jack's
Speechless
phone
staring at
because
the
it's
phone.
like, it's so beautiful. It looks like a field, like a big open field with like a
Yeah.
Tibetan
Yeah, so
temple. It's like, oh.
it's called Sky, and the reason is, if you look up sort of video footage, you're seeing sort of these islands separated by just clouds. You fly, you just get free goddamn rain. You can just fly between different areas. It's not like you die when you fall into clouds. It's so good. The controls actually are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So you have movement on the left-hand side, camera controls on the right-hand side, pretty basic. If you want to do the sort of call that you would do in Journey, usually
Yes.
with a circle button,
Yep.
you actually tap yourself.
Yep.
You want to hold it down if you want to make a bigger one to activate things. You have a lot of emotes. This is kind of where I'm feeling a lot of the meters, and I'm going to revisit Sky a lot in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And by coming weeks, I mean the next 6 months.
Just a
Over and
couple.
over and
Those are
over.
weeks that
Yeah.
are coming.
But the
That's
thing
fine.
is, this, like, you look up Skyfall gameplay, it is like 12, 15 hours. This is a mobile game. I have a 4-inch screen.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
expect me to play that long in one sitting.
Yeah.
No.
I want to spend more time getting to know this game, really enjoying it. Obviously, you're hearing it. It's gorgeous. If you look at visuals, it's gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
That feeling of playing with others that you had in Journey, where you always think the best of them, is exactly the same in Sky. So you see other sort of like shadow selves. They're basically sort of like silhouette style things, walking around, same shape as you. If you interact with them and you like light candles, which is the cutest, it's so gorgeous, they turn into a real person, and you're like, we've made a bond. We can now like maybe solve puzzles. You interact with different environments in different ways. You can leave messages for other players to come by and see, maybe hinting or just sort of giving you morale, which, oh god, it's gorgeous.
Do you have
The main
pings everywhere?
the main
Does
sort
it-
of gameplay hook, things.
pings. You know, in Journey, you can be like,
It's not as obnoxious, no.
okay, cool. That was my
People
only problem.
People are very reserved about it, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Either that or the game logic is like, shut them up after 5. The main hook is exploring these areas and basically just looking for like little nooks and crannies to discover constellations, because in the sky you have constellations. That's the joke.
Well done.
And so smart.
You're
Oh my
so
God.
smart. We're all really clever here.
And you end up actually building that getting that constellation back to the sort of former self kind of vibe, and they will give you cute emotes.
Aww.
So I have this really cute one where it's like you just like point at something, but it's like with this cute as hell like thing. And right now I'm solving a puzzle with another player. You have to light up each side of the door. You can't do it by yourself. And like really basic stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just get those game design hooks in my brain, and I'm just like, I love all of you so much. It's just, oh my God.
Is it on Android?
It is not on Android
It's
yet.
not on Android. That's why I haven't played it.
This is an iOS exclusive for the moment. You can sign up for the pre-release beta vibe situation on the Play Store. Go and do that if you want to get to it as soon as possible.
Yeah. It
I mean, they're not going to run out.
They might.
You can get them while they last. Downloads, and then the hard drive explodes. I don't know. It's a Galaxy phone.
Liquidates.
So it's currently just on iOS phones. You will be able to get it on Android soon.
Okay.
Later, you'll be getting it on PC and consoles as well.
Oh.
So for the moment, it is free to play. There are microtransactions. You can purchase like little things to basically change the look of your character, improve your flying skills, but it's still like you're not getting a leg up on this puzzle solving. It's very basic puzzle solving.
Yeah.
It's a lot of exploration. And if you just want to like fly around for as long as you can, that's basically all that you get out of it.
Yeah.
I feel. Which is cool, and you get extra outfits and emotes, and cool. You're paying for something and you don't feel like you're ripped off. I think that's $25 for like the starter kit situation.
Yeah.
Or you can buy extra like resources. There are a few different sort of like, I don't want to call them currencies, but they're currencies. They don't feel like currencies. Like they've made it feel very, very organic, very close to a console game vibe where it's like, I'm not getting cheated out of my cash. Whereas mobile games, you're like, all right, ease up.
Freemium.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the
free.
Where's the
the
butt
free
part?
is the what's stressed. No, in this, the mium is what's stressed.
Right. Okay.
Premium.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible.
It looks beautiful. I
It's
want to
so
play it.
good.
So you said it's a puzzle solving game essentially.
Yes.
So
Mostly exploration. It's just an adventure game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you keep coming back to it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So why would it? Do the puzzles change? Or the
I,
puzzles?
it's mostly exploration, dude. I just want to explore more of this world and love life.
It's just pretty.
Right.
You're
Okay.
just looking at
It's
things.
just really pretty.
Oh,
Okay.
it is very big.
Big world.
This is one level that you're seeing. One of
Damn.
like at least close to like half a dozen to a dozen, I think.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
right.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
yikes. Yeah. When I said 12 to 15 hours, I wasn't like, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks even better if you've got a newer iPhone and you're not playing on the Fisher Paykel phone. Like, it's fair. But yeah, if you don't have an iOS device, don't look it up. Don't look up full gameplay things on YouTube. Look up a trailer, look up a little bit, get a sense for like, oh, okay, I'm into this game. Like I was a year or so ago. Get hype, leave. Do not
Wait.
like just
Spoil
wait
it, yeah.
because it is worth it. And I'm going to
Marinate.
detail over the next 6 months why you should marinate and maybe like 60 minutes in the oven and flip.
Yep.
Soupcasts.
Yep, we're back.
How do you flip a suit?
My emotes, my cute emotes. I'm
Bravery.
pointing, just pointing.
Aw.
It's so cute. It's so it was created by the same people that did Journey.
ThatGameCompany is
Yeah.
what it's called.
We are on the home stretch of the 2019 gaming year, folks. We are approaching Q4, the big fancy holiday season, where all the publishers go all out and bring out their biggest tentpole games for you to buy at Christmas or not, depending on just, I don't know, I'm not your real dad. But in order to talk about the games of Q4 of 2019, I've convened the all-star panel of Meg and Shane to talk about some of the big releases coming out this time of year.
But if you're not my dad, who is my dad?
Well, let's take that offline.
I'll just go back. I need to go buy some cigarettes. Excuse me.
Cool.
Don's really busy. Sorry,
Yeah.
Shane.
But let's just go through some of the big releases of Q4, and we begin with the showstopper, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep.
All right. Really? Showstopper.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's all we got, where
You know, we actually
Straits.
no. We actually are stopping the show when that game comes out because that's what we're reviewing.
You got
and-
annual leave booked in? I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
that's
yeah,
what's
of course,
happening.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
So like I know that's basically on this side of the panel, the hype for Destiny 2, but like after everything about the game, just the fact that like Bungie have broken off Blizzard, they have now
Gone
Activision
rogue.
Blizzard, so they've gone rogue basically. They're doing their own thing, and I'm
massive.
so excited.
Oh,
for
their
it.
own thing with
confident-
Steam. Yes, own thing.
Yeah. Like there's also like from Ubisoft we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint,
Yeah.
which I was not a fan of the last Ghost Recon game, and this doesn't look any better. Does
I'm
it
surprised
appeal
they
any to
can
you?
rehash another game in that franchise.
It's the same engine, same kind of
Yeah.
not the environment, but like similar in environment, similar probably story. Just with the battle royale mode. So
Yikes. I feel like they should be investing all their money into Rainbow Six Siege and making that as esports as they can. So, not
Like
sure.
right now, that's just printing all the money for them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure they're fine with continuing it as it is at the moment.
Yeah.
talking about printing money, the next game, Cotton Warfare,
Cotton Warfare.
Call of Duty
boy.
Modern Warfare.
Can't
Yeah,
wait for that.
but no, like I was a big fan of COD 4 back in the day, but I'm just
Do
kind
you
of
want a reboot?
No, that's the thing. I wanted something that was similar back to that game, but I feel like it's just not going to be that. So it's
Right.
I think it's going to be, from what I've heard, it's going to be much more grittier and realistic. And like it'll like
How much
it
more
tends to be
grittier can
heavy.
realistic get? I
Yeah.
actually am, I'm really waiting to get impressed on that.
But it's not even like the realism that I kind of wanted from the COD 4. It's more like the style of how the COD environments change, like how much we've changed from movement based, and like even the maps in the original COD 4 was such a different style comparative to now, where it's very much the game is very movement based. Old COD 4, I wouldn't say it's as much.
So you don't want to feel the existential dread of time marching on, do you, Shane?
Yikes. What the point I think we're trying to make here is that there's no fresh IP. And I think besides Pokemon coming out later and Luigi's Mansion #3, Medieval and things like that,
I'm surprised to hear you just brushing off Medieval because
Modern
I'm
IP Medieval, so it's basically a total remake. Yeah, you're keen for it. Well, you know what? We'll leave it to you.
Hey,
But
look, nostalgic. All right, I take it back. I'm just shocked. I think we have to wait for the really, really massive games for in 2020, basically. I mean, Cyberpunk's gonna be
then, I
big.
don't expect 2020 to help us really, because that's supposedly the year where Microsoft and Sony will announce their next consoles, and that will actually that can go one of two extremes. You can either get the Xbox 360 version where you get a bunch of new IP. We've got Gears, we've got BioShock, we've got Mass Effect.
Mass Effect,
or we
yeah.
can get the Xbox One generation effect where we get nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, well, hey, we got Rise.
Or everything will be forward compatible and it'll still work on the new one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the funny thing is, if we do actually get a release during that maybe Q4 period, we might have a bigger Q4 period than this year's, because we've still got, I guess, after those games we mentioned, we've still got Shenmue 3, Doom Eternal, probably one of the most
on
on
Shenmue 3.
I'm skipping.
Do you think it'd be good? Yes, maybe, I don't know.
Don, do you think I'm the person who actually expects a game that will be good other than Doom Eternal? Because there's also Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I'm a big Star Wars fan originally until later stuff, and now this just looks like a Sekiro clone except slowed down. So I'm very much disappointed. But Doom Eternal.
As someone with dumb fingers, I like the idea of Sekiro but slowed down.
Right.
Plus also lightsabers, because I'm a simple boy who is easily amused. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, as well as Pokemon Sword and Shield, because
Yeah.
if Pokemon Let's Go taught me anything, is Pokemon is basically comfort food. It's a warm blanket. It doesn't really change, but you kind of don't want it to change, so...
I'm going to stop you there with mentioning Pokemon Let's Go and mentioning this game, because I really, really hope it's not Pokemon Let's Go.
I feel like they've removed that whole element from it.
But there is still some moments there that I'm like, oh no, please don't. And I'm so, not scared, but I'm just disappointed. Stone, I'm disappointed.
I've
Speaking
seen
of-
17 million trailers of Death Stranding, and I still don't know what to expect. So that's my.
As far as I'm
I'll
concerned,
buy
yeah.
that at launch, but everything else for me is I'll wait for the bargain bin.
Do you want to know what Death Stranding is before you get it, or do you just want to
Yeah.
go in there with zero knowledge?
That's a great pitch.
Yeah,
Definitely
like,
going
Shane,
in blind.
Do you want to know nothing or everything about Hideo Kojima's wild adventure?
Well, no, that's the thing. Even when I know everything, I still don't know anything,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if there's going to be anything to really know about that game until we walk in, realize, oh, it's just a sad, autobiography of his life, basically trying to save his career with the baby,
I am all
and then he pees.
in on that.
But okay, so Doom Eternal is probably the other one we mentioned.
Yeah.
That's everyone's kind of hyped for, right?
No, yeah, Doom was Doom 2016 was a surprisingly good game.
Yeah.
And so and Doom Eternal looks like they've learned the lessons from Doom 2016 and they enhance it just to make it even more ridiculous.
Great.
I think one other we haven't mentioned, The Outer Worlds, which
I don't really know much about that.
nobody really does.
People want more Obsidian games. This is the Fallout New Vegas sequel that everyone's looking for, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I wonder if
Makes
they're going to
sense.
go right down to the bugginess of Fallout New Vegas.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah, but ultimately, this is our list of games for Q4 2019. Is it ultimately that the holiday season isn't what it's cracked up to be? That the real, actual hype season that we should be looking forward to is Q1, when Japan basically unleashes all their games upon us?
Are we spoiled, or are we getting old, or what is happening? Are we getting more frugal with our money, so therefore more stingy on our choices?
Nah, I think Q4 is honestly just disappointing. We basically got nothing in December. November, October's got a few things, but yeah, December's empty.
I need to catch up on that library that's ever growing and never getting smaller. All these summer Steam sales.
Yep, so that's on that nice sad note. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Meg.
My pleasure.
For talking about Q4 in video gaming. And well, hopefully some of these games end up being really good. You'll definitely find out from us, though, on future episodes of New Game Plus. Polish your chainsaws and wash out your do-rags because we have a review of Gears 5 and Meg will tell you her thoughts on this game.
Now we're coming into AAA game release season in one of the slowest years of new IP in ages. One of the first big releases off the ranks to keep you busy before Death Stranding is Gears 5. And yes, that is no longer Gears of War because the hashtag is definitely trying to steal all the characters in your tweet. This third-person shooter is an Xbox exclusive made by the Microsoft-owned studio Coalition and is the 6th title in the Gears franchise. New Game Plus were lucky enough to attend the Gears Inc. party here in Melbourne and see the game in the flesh before release. The campaign kicks off directly at the end of Gears of War 4, and there is an incredible amount of video content built into the game to get you back up to speed. If you've never played a Gears of War game and feel like it's just too hard to jump back in with no knowledge, then there's so much video trailers and recap content that can be found in the main menu that is more than enough to get started. Firstly, we have to talk about the graphics of this game. It is probably the most beautiful Gears game in the franchise. The cinematic scenes are next level. It's like a movie all on its own. The voice actors could not have been more perfectly suited to these characters and have a really rare chemistry that makes the player feel like they've known them for ages, which is actually pretty spot on considering, don't you think? The open world term is a bit of a stretch for Gears 5, as the environments are barren wastelands, and it's still fairly linear in some acts. The ice world, the snow physics, the glaciers are spectacular, and the desert and post-apocalyptic damaged buildings are super detailed and immersive. The campaign story is gripping for all the right reasons and can be played couch co-op with up to 3 people. The promo art and trailers all feature the female protagonist, Kate, but she actually doesn't appear and isn't a playable character in the campaign right away. At first, I felt like it was misleading and that Microsoft was trying to lure female gamers in with this direction. But never fear, among the nail-biting journey you go on with Dell, Robot Jack, and Kate, you can actually choose her avatar after Act 2 and work together to uncover the secrets of the Locust, unravel the mystery of her past, and protect the future of the world. It's so exciting to see the characters in this game are extremely diverse and embrace LGBT and even showcase disability. The devs have actually added 19 different Pride banner flags in the multiplayer for players. The locusts and boss monsters are totally badass and come at you in waves as per usual, which is super fun to tackle. Unfortunately, a lot of them are bullet soaking instead of strategically hard to kill, so it was common for them to waste all of my inventory. There was still plenty of weapon drops and bullet replenishment along the way though, and it was really epic when you found that really amazing gun to slay the beast with. I felt the collectible objectives were actually a little bit redundant and didn't add any value or context to the story for me. And it's a shame because those insanely detailed level design and gorgeous environments, while searching through them, there weren't enough of them out there. There was no skill tree required for you as an individual player, but your robot assistant Jack has actually some epic skills to upgrade and help you fight along the way. actually a huge selling point for me was the polished split screen options for couch co-op. And the game also has cross-play online, which means you can play on PC while your mate plays on Xbox, and it's really seamless, especially on multiplayer. The multiplayer Horde mode is recurring again, and it's had some system improvements and gameplay changes, which make it kind of feel a bit fresher. And there's a brand new escape mode, which is brand new to Gears 5, which all players really love. Celebrity partnerships with Mike Bautista and Terminator are actually characters for online multiplayer, and there looks to be a huge range of different enemies to keep it interesting throughout the waves of Horde mode. Gears 5 is a must-play for fans of the Gears franchise, with so many references to infamous enemies, nostalgic characters, and it's a super fun experience overall. Even people that are new to the story or simply just want a great multiplayer shooter.
A Gears game with good story? A Gears game with colour? Who'd have thought it? I've got Meg here on the couch to talk about this more because how do?
Yeah.
Why, what?
I feel like this had an extremely positive reaction when it launched just last week here. And I can't believe how goddamn beautiful the game really is. And I know I mentioned it in my review, but I wanted to talk about this more with Don because we've come really far.
Yes, like when the series first started as Gears of War 1 on the Xbox 360, that was
Very brown.
Very brown, very grey. The characters were very thick and very same, but now we've got like color, we've got what's called grass, we've got ice, we've got apocalyptic desert. You're like the whole brain. It's basically a Mario game.
Yeah.
You just need the lava level and you're set.
There's actually map creation which you can build yourself, kind of like Super Mario Maker as well.
Has someone built World 1 in Escape yet?
Oh man, it was a classic, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
I feel like though the blockiness still is there, and the mocap and the voice acting is like creme de la creme. But what I really found the most was the bugs at launch.
I mean, isn't the game about shooting bugs?
Nice one. Ponerific. It's definitely really buggy, and there was a couple of times where I was collecting things that weren't showing up in my inventory, as well as the robot AI getting stuck in doorways. And you were telling me that you had problems.
No, yeah, like a lot of my collectibles never actually popped up as completed.
Yeah.
Which meant like during the chapter, which was basically a big Hamilton reference, I don't have any of those in me, and I really want my not Hamilton references. Give.
I think it's a really great example of what live service games means in today's gaming release industry. But the developers are really transparent and clear on social media when those bugs were raised at launch, especially with the Game Pass giving the game early to people a couple of days before it went live worldwide.
Yeah.
And they acknowledged the bugs and say they were working on them. And I think that really puts the players at ease, knowing that there's people like working on those things.
But like there is one thing that was pretty solid from day one, and that is the story. Like who'd have thought that? Like I've spoken to people about the story, and like they've gotten emotional over some of the story bits, and even just like Meg, you were talking about to me before about the quieter moments in the story that really helped build the characters.
I feel like in the open world acts of the game, which is 2 and 3, it was during those times we were using the skiff to transport around and find those collectibles, where the story and the narrative really heavily rely on Del and Kate's dialogue to progress that evolution of all the other characters left behind in the earlier scenes in the game. So once you do arrive back to the town where everyone is, the progression is sort of like organically happen along the way without really using a lot of cutscenes to take you there.
Yeah, it's like it's not. You don't get the sense that they are what's called mentioning exposition. They aren't exposing the story to you in very little terms. It is
correct.
they do feel like two characters just in this situation, just trying to shoot the breeze basically.
Correct. Shoot the breeze is right. Those open worlds are very, very boring in terms of the fact that I kind of wish it was more like Borderlands, where at least you just like discover some crazy monsters that you have to kill randomly, but there's literally not much going on.
No, just what's got a lot of skiing, a lot of talking, and a lot of daddy issues in that game as well. So many daddy issues.
Marcus Phoenix actually is on the intercom a lot of the time, where it sort of helps the two characters discover all these areas and help, I guess, guide them along the way and providing a little bit of insight and humor to the journey. Yeah.
Again, who'd have thought that we'd be talking about the writing, the characters, and the story and the graphics in a Gears game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows how much this series has progressed.
In my review, I said that it was probably one of the most good-looking Gears of War, but I'm going to take that word probably away because I think that was a slip. It is the most
especially on
gorgeous.
PC as well. Aside from a few texture pop-ins, it is like rock solid on PC. So
Absolutely.
like I kind of want to go go play it. So let's just end the show and let's get straight to it. So
It's a must-have.
thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of New Game Plus. Next week, Matt will be taking the hosting chair, which of course means that there'll be lots of Monster Hunter. We will have a review of the latest Monster Hunter expansion. But until then, visit our website at www.newgameplus.tv for all our past episodes and videos. And for the latest news, visit our social media websites on Facebook, on Twitter. We are at New Game Plus TV, one word, no spaces. We also have our Twitch streams every other day at twitch.tv/NewGamePlusTV. So thank you all again for watching, and we hope to see you here again next week.